J Moore, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. Appreciate everybody for coming through. We're going to talk a little bit about Diddy, aka the Diddler, a little bit. But I ain't going to probably go too long. We'll see. We open it up for questions and things and whatever people want to, talk about and chime in. We'll see what's up. Turn this air up in here a little bit. Give me a little bit of water, wet this whistle. Appreciate everybody listening on the podcast as well. So, P. Diddy. Diddy, or, as is known now, the Diddler. 50 Cent, he done produced his Downfall of Diddy documentary. I didn't get a chance to see it yet, but I got a lot of mixed feelings and thoughts about Diddy and the rap industry and different stuff, So, I mean, in a way, I kind of felt this way for a long time that Diddy, and I don't want to say Diddy, but, Biggie style of rap was the downfall of rap in a way. Now, I don't want to necessarily say it was Diddy or Biggie because it was people like, a little bit of Tupac kind of really started it. And what I want to mean by that is talking about like Hennessy or Jules or riding in the Benz or, picture me rolling in my 500 Benz, all these things, materialism in music. I think it started with Tupac. Biggie took it to another level. And then after his death, people like Jay-Z and things took it to a whole new level of, how music is today with being about being rich or famous or music. It's not as much about stories. They don't really tell stories anymore. People used to have more stories in rap, and it would, and before, even it wasn't about how much money or girls you got or cars or clothes or drugs and all of that. Even if they had a song about drugs, even NWA didn't rap about how much money and cars and clothes they had. Eazy-E and them, they didn't rap like that. They would tell about being the dope man or, different stuff that happened or whatever in their hood, or different things, getting, jail or shot at, different stories. It wasn't necessarily the materialism trend. And so I think with Puffy, I think he's probably right there with Jay-Z is probably being, and Kanye West and all these people that's come after them have taken it to a whole new level. So I don't want to say one person is totally responsible for something, but I really do feel like the downfall of rap. And hey, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of those artists, and also materialism was new. Also, I'm like the perfect age of, I grew up with rap. And I'm not saying it like, oh, some people would say I grew up listening to rap. No, me and rap are the same age. Like, we grew up together. So I was listening to Run DMC, LL Cool J, Curtis Blow, JJ Fad. I remember Salt and Pepper Push It video when it was first released. I was in like 8th grade or 7th grade at the roller rink, and they was dancing. And that's one of the first times that I remember rap being sexualized, because I remember I was in like 8th grade and I'm at the roller rink and I see them dancing and stuff, and I knew right then I wasn't gay, because I was like, oh snap, I would love to do something. I got a little thing hard down here. My little wee-wee is working. You know what I mean? I like salt. I had a crush on some salt. So I got high blood pressure. Anyway, so that was one of the first ladies of rap that I was like, man, I got a crush on her. She's fine. I'm damn. Now, again, I'm only in like 7th or 8th grade. So, but I remember that before then, you know, it wasn't like that. And even Queen Latifah and the rapping and power, MC Light and thing, women wasn't really out there like that in rap and stuff. So, I mean, you know, I've seen all the different changes and stuff. And so, anyway, that change was new, and it was around the time when I was starting to get money and things, my mid to late teenage years with the Puffy and Biggie and all of that stuff. And so I don't know, man. It's like I'm not really surprised because if you really listen to the music, all they've been talking about is what they do with women and get money and women ain't this but hoes and tricks and do this and that and all the stuff they all been saying from the Snoops to the Puppy to all these people. So I mean, no, they didn't say, yeah, I go and kick them in the head like a field goal or things like that in the music or sex traffic and things, which that I did. I had to look more into that because I was confused when they were saying that it was trafficking when I'm like, well, how he gonna get the women to his house? Of course it's gonna be traffic. Where you gonna supposed to, teleport them there? You gonna magical their ass there? But what I looked at in this article that I'll pull up is that they said that he brought them there for the reasons of paid intercourse. And so that is the problem from what they are saying, allegedly. And because it's not that they were underage, because they said that this person that, because it's a new suit, and this article that I have that I'll show is going down the timeline. This dude got arrested on my birthday. But from what they're saying, this person was between the ages of 18 and like 40 or 50 years old. So they weren't underage, but he was getting them, I guess he was like a pimp, having them, he was like a madam, I guess, except it was for him. I'm alleging that part because I'm saying. So they say Jane Doe over the age of 18, under the age of 55, over a 4-year period, and even became pregnant, although later suffered a miscarriage. Says the attorney representing this unknown woman said that she first became acquainted with Diddy in the fall of 2020 while overseas and later invited on an all expense paid trip. Now, some people would say, well, you know what the trip about or this or that. Well, to a certain extent, I guess you could say that, but then it gets a little more interesting, I should say. It says that let's go back to where it was. It says following that 2020 meeting, the documents allege Jane Doe began seeing the rapper once a month in 21 and 22, and that Combs arranged for her to come to his homes in Miami, LA, and New York, and alleged that she did not attend these meetings on her own volition, but says that Combs and his staff used coercive and harassing language to get her to see the rapper. Okay. I don't know what they were said, could have said, would make a person do things. Some people say you could call the police. Some people may feel that wouldn't have worked. I don't know. It's not that easy with ladies and trying to do things, and especially against a person with a lot of wealth. So I don't know how that may have played out, especially if maybe she wanted to do something in the entertaining industry. Maybe she felt that this may ruin my chances. Sometimes people, unfortunately, are caught with that feeling. It says that it said that those meetings led to several instances of abuse detailed in the filing. Says during one April 22 meeting, the rapper used spike alcoholic beverages to force some time up in that special place of hers. And it says, according to the docs, on another July 22 occasion, he allegedly forced her to take ketamine and other drugs, which resulted in her blacking out, describing being in and out of consciousness. And shortly after that incident is when the woman took a pregnancy test, which was positive. During a separate 22 meeting, the woman says she left Combs' Miami residence with purple bruises on her feet and a bite mark on the heel of her foot with no memory of what caused them. And after learning of the pregnancy, says in the docs that his team harassed her to go to the chop shop. Got to use, clever language, YouTube, before she suffered a, miscarriage of justice. It says after her pregnancy loss, the woman alleges she attempted to get some space from the rapper and did not speak to him for about 3 months approximately. However, his constant harassment via calls and texts, and even somehow finding a way to monitor her location, soon resumed in late 22 and continued through July 2024. Wow. One thing I think about is, and I've talked to some ladies, some really smart, cool ass ladies. Shout out to, B and Gina and Kelly and all of them, and Discord throughout the last few years of our, friendship. And because different situations have come up, and I would say, why would a person that's got so much money or influence or power do something like this? If this woman don't want to be there, don't have her, and just have somebody that would. There's plenty of people that I'm sure ladies would love to willingly be there with Diddy and be a part of the freak off. I mean, hey, I've met a few that, for $200 they would have been there, and there wasn't nobody you would think with no cigar stains or cigarette Newport stains on their back. Okay, so why force this? And what I was, kind of enlightened about in some of these conversations is that's not always about having the person or the look. It's about the control or the power or the intimidation and things. And I just, wow, that is just a different mindset. I've never had that interest like that, to control or intimidate or keep an eye on and things. I mean, don't he got enough to do? Why would you be checking behind and monitoring location of somebody and doing this and that? Like, I got way better things to do than be monitoring you. You don't want to be here, deuces. And so I don't know. That's why I don't get a lot of this type of behavior from people out there. Anybody don't want to be here or want to break up, I ain't gonna be sitting by your house or down the street or watching who you leave with or calling and doing all this. That's way too much. Way too much. I don't know. Maybe I just don't care enough. Maybe I don't care enough. Maybe I ain't met the right one. I ain't met the right one I want to stalk, I guess. I don't know. But I'm getting up there, so I don't think I'm gonna ever have those feelings. But any breakups and things I went through, not to say I guess I thought I liked it, loved, or had whatever. I don't know. Maybe I guess I didn't, but no, I wasn't about to sit at the job or stalk or do this and that. If anything, here's your stuff. You can go. And if you ready or whatever, we can do something. If not, have a happy life. I'm sorry it didn't work out, whatever, but hey, see you when I see you. Been sitting around. That's like a job. Anyway, let me get to some of these comments, man. I ain't about to be putting in no hours doing that. That's too much. I don't like doing that, man. I feel like a loser. You, like I'm not gonna put in a lot of time and do a lot of that for free. Doing that on a stakeout, sitting around doing this, chasing around, doing. I guess it's over. I can't even text back and forth too many times without no response. I text you and you don't text back, or the only time we talk is when I text you. And if I stop texting you, we'll never hear from each other. Well, I guess that's the end of that one. Because I ain't about to keep texting you. What you doing? How you doing? What's up, baby? Hey, baby. Hey, queen. What you doing? How you doing? You coming? What you doing? Hey, man, what? Hey. Scats rats since Rojas been to a Diddy party. Yeah. Well, actually, I cannot confirm nor deny. Now, I would go. I just had to leave before it get dark. That's all. I think what Denzel say. Make sure when you go to parties, you leave before it get dark. You know what I mean? I leave at about 8, 9 o'clock. That's what time it get dark out in LA. Leave about 8 or 9. Hopefully it's just enough fun. I only need about 1 or 2 baby bottles worth of action. Like if you got a baby bottle scale rating, baby oil, I said baby bottle, baby oil rating scale. How many baby oils, how many cases would you rate the party? I'd be on a scale of 5 baby oils instead of 5 stars. I only need about a 2.5, 3 baby oil star, baby oil rating party. I'm good. I don't have to stay and get that 5 baby oil, rated party. That's when they got tapes on you. You can throw a couple of tickle bitties hanging out in my face and some big old cheeks. Add the you might catch me on video with a lap dance or two and some things, some badunka dunk and bazumba zumbas. But other than that, that would be the end of it. I'd be rolling right on down the ramp up out of there after that. They may be rolling with me, but that's about it. You wouldn't see nothing else. You throw me face down in no damn oil. I wouldn't know what the hell. What y'all doing back there? Oh hell no! Had to get a monitor to see what they doing back there. What y'all doing? Oh no! Why you need 2 bottles? Oh snap! Wouldn't be able to feel it or see it. Hell no! You ain't gonna have me up in that. It better told me a doing. Lubricated it. Wouldn't even know. Be trying to slide back in the chair and wonder why there's a big old hole in the middle of it. Shit, we gotta be all tore up. We'll be able to walk or sit. Wouldn't know why. They'd be giving me the wrong tape. I would be like, man, let me see the tape of what y'all did back there. We can't find it. My bad. Anyway, what's up, Lenore? Oh, even talking about that one made my arm hurt. Let's see. What else did he been up to? You say Damian Kenny, everyone who comes through the door is on camera. I know, right? Peanut. I think Diddy killed Pac and Biggie. What up, Peanut? Hey, let me go back to full screen on that one. That's actually a good. What's up, Angel? How you doing? That's actually something that like Pac was saying, like with Diddy, when Pac said that Diddy set him up on that first shooting. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people may have forgot about that. So when people say Pac, I mean when Diddy got Pac killed, and I'll get to the Biggie one, but Pac and Biggie killed, people be thinking like, oh yeah, this and that. But Puffy ain't really no corny dude though either, because his father was in them streets too, and Puffy ain't. He was around and saw a lot and been around with some connections. But anyway, the thing with Pac is he was saying how them dudes was waiting for him, and how they was the only ones that knew he was gonna be there at that time. And then when he got up to the top of the hotel, I mean up into the studio with the elevator, and he got there, they just looked at him or whatever, like they ain't try to help him or nothing. They looked at him like what? You still alive? Like what? What? He's still alive? What? And then Pac rolled up a blunt. I smoke a blunt to take the pain out. And if I wasn't, I'd probably try to blow my brain on. I'm hopeless. Hey, that's something I always remembered, and we used to talk about it around that time when it happened. You know what I mean? Remember, I was growing up with rap, all these moments. Anyway, now what happened with Pac in Vegas was random, I believe. It didn't actually happen with Diddy. But not to say Diddy wouldn't have eventually made some other shot at him or did something, who knows. But with the thing with Pac, and it was a random fight in Vegas with the wrong one, Orlando Anderson, straight Crip. No, it was a what? Yeah, he was a Crip. And his crew, and he ain't about to get beat by no rapper, allegedly, which is why Keefy D is in trouble, because he was in the car with them and he's explained what happened, which, was on video at the hotel and all of that. And which is why Suge almost got shot too, because, although Diddy could have had some, but that debunked Suge having to do with it. So that's the thing with the Puffy and Pac thing. Puffy tried to get Pac once, and the second time was a random Pac just wilding out. Now with the Biggie thing, yeah, I watch a lot of documentaries, videos, all kind of stuff, but interviews. One of the things I did see, I believe it was on Vlad TV, and the man name was Gene Deal. He was a bodyguard for Puffy, and I believe it was him that was saying that Biggie was talking with him, saying that he was about to leave Puffy, and he like, I got it all set up. Because if y'all really grew up with rap like I did, and you was following it, every time you hear Biggie talking, whether he be talking about Caesar Leo, De Janeiro, or Charlie Baltimore, or putting on Junior Mafia or whatever, he was always name dropping these people and appearing on their stuff. And he told him like, look, I got a deal. And Gene Deal was saying it was like, I can't remember the number, but like somewhere between 30 and 60 million or something. And he was going to be the star of the deal. And that he was going to be like putting on everybody else. And it was going to be, he had his clothing line coming out, Brooklyn Mint. He was going to have his own label, and he was going to have his artists under him. And Jay-Z was gonna be with him. It was him and Jay-Z, and I forgot the name of their little group that they was about to do or something. And then he was leaving Diddy because Diddy wasn't giving him the money, or screwing him, or not doing this or doing that, or da. Had all this ownership. I think Diddy even made him, only gave him like a portion of his publishing or this or that. He only got like 25 G's allegedly, and a lot of this stuff. Allegedly for a lot of this stuff, for everything, because I wasn't there. But he was allegedly gonna leave, which then what would Diddy have had but just those 2 albums and a couple of things he did, and then he would have been gone. Because truth be told, everybody know that's been watching and paying attention, Diddy never had a successful artist more than once. Like, they may have something and then they gone. It's like What happened with Craig Mack? He was bigger than Biggie at the time. Craig Mack, 1,000 degrees. And what happened with Craig Mack is sad. And then we got the Mace or, whoever. You can name whoever, Black Rob, so many people. What happened to Total? So many artists that, for whatever reason, their careers never took off the way it is. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm not the Vibe magazine. I grew up with rap, follow it, been a part of this and that, but I won't sit here and say I'm the end all authority on everything. I'm about to check some of these comments. The Commission. That was Biggie and Jay-Z. The Commission. Yep. That would have been hard. Biggie and Jay-Z doing the album together. And again, like I was bumping Reasonable Doubt in 96. A lot of people ain't know about Jay-Z and this and that. Jay-Z been dope rapper as far as I'm still old school. You got to have lyrics and a story in your song, not just say a goofy line and a catchy, hook 3 times, 3 verses of that. You say typo, cool with the Southside Crips, T-Fam 1. There you go. For what happened. Dutch McVeigh, Biggie and Jay-Z, Charlie Baltimore, The Commission. Yeah. Hey, Damian Kenny, The Commission, Big and Jay-Z, Supergroup. For real. Hey, for real. And y'all got to remember, this a young Jay-Z. And he was still looking up to Big, and this before he even blew up. I think he only had the Reasonable Doubt so far. So yeah, that was about to be it. And that's another reason why in Jay-Z album, his first video, he had them playing what you call it, Monopoly with Biggie, Nas, Jay-Z, all of them. And so what happened was after Biggie died, this is the artist side now. Jay-Z stole all of Biggie's ideas with the music, with the clothing, with Rockefeller. And then he started Rockaware. Then he started Rockefeller Rec, where he already had that. But then he got the artists and put together, everything. And he basically ran from what Biggie, was doing. If Biggie would have lived, I mean, who's to say he's the same businessman? But hey, his ideas were gold. Straight up. And Puffy did the same thing too, with getting other artists as well as the clothing with Sean John and all of that. So they all put in and took a little bit of Biggie's ideas, you know what I mean? Truthfully. But hey, they were good ideas. I never bought any Sean John clothing. Never. I just never really rocked it, never liked it like that. Not hating, but then again, I never bought Sean John. Some of my friends do. Looking back on them pictures now, don't look good. I did buy Rockaware though. I did buy Rockaware. Not as much as I've always really been a polo person, Ralph Lauren or whatever, because that don't really go out of style. And hopefully Ralph don't have no scandals. But anyway, hey, it don't. We'll see what happens. What's that, Big Bird? You say white girl from Danity Kane told us about Puffy when she got kicked out. Yeah, that's true. Didn't she sue? And she was dating him for a while or something. Wasn't she going off and on allegedly with him? And Danity Kane ain't end up doing nothing and things. And yeah. And so also here's another thing that they saying. Allegedly, Jay-Z, Usher, Justin Bieber, so many people allegedly heads about the roll. Mary J. Blige. Oh man. I mean, one thing that I know for a fact is that I don't know what the hell people be doing. That's the one thing I always say. So as I've gotten older, I don't be really so disappointed in people I don't know. Because the one thing I know for a fact is I don't know what people that I don't know will do. I don't know these people. But, you know, sometimes we feel like we know some of these people because of their entertainment product. You know, these people don't do podcasts or sit and actually get to know and tell their stories in an intimate way, like how you can actually have some idea of knowing a person, like, you know, myself or, you know, some other people. And even that, we still, you don't really know. But this right here, I don't know, man. It would be sad if Mary J was in one of them videos. I would, because I wasn't there. Mary J. J Lo, dang. Why I couldn't have been there at that one? Nah, I wasn't at none of them. But hey, I wish I could have been at the one with a couple of them. Ain't no telling though. They may have made me have to do something, you know, put something in my mouth in order to get there that I don't want to do. I'd be like, oh man, I gotta put that in my mouth to get with J Lo or Mary J. And they'll be sitting there waiting. I'll be like, oh no, I'm good. I know y'all thought I was gonna say, I'm there. Come on, baby. Nope. I'd be like, oh man, I'd be heartbroken because I wouldn't get what I really wanted because I'm about to bounce. T fam, that that old Jay-Z. Y'all funny. Aubrey O'Day. Yeah. That's her name from Danity Kane. Yeah. Shout out to my girl Rashonda. What's up? What's up? How you feeling, sis? And Annette Gilliard. Good evening from NYC. What's up? What's up? How you feeling? I saw another one here. Somebody say, "Oh, Big Bird." You were saying Keefy D said Diddy paid them, but that's the thing. So that's a good point. Going back to Diddy and Pac, Keefy D, which this I've seen, and well, I can't say I've seen it. I've seen Keefy D's interview of him telling this story out his own mouth on Vlad TV, which probably would got him in trouble. But he said, although this didn't actually get him in trouble because it didn't work out that way, but just that he just talked too much. Anyway, he did say that Puffy, it's another dude, I can't remember this dude name, but he was like a greasy dude, but from what everybody say, he was shady, but a likable, very likable dude, very charismatic and shady in a charismatic way. He wouldn't necessarily strong arm you or do something. He'd talk you out of it. I think somebody he talked out some people out or whatever. If you watch the interview, it's some athlete that he talked out of something that I forget. John Sally. He talked John Sally out of a Rolex or something once, or money or something, or he talked TK Kirkland in and out of something or whatever. And so anyway, this smooth, charismatic, shady slash likable guy was affiliated with Keefy D as some type of middleman and Puffy. And Puffy gave this dude allegedly $1 million to give to Keefy D to take out Pac. But allegedly, this charismatic dude or whatever kept the money. It was cash. He kept it, didn't give it to Keefy D, and ended up balling and buying a nightclub and all kind of other stuff. And said to hell with Keefy D and Puffy. And so Keefy D didn't do it because he never got the money. And Puffy didn't get in trouble for trying to pay him off for that because dude never gave the money. He stole the money. And the dude they talking about allegedly did all this is no longer alive. So Zip, that's his name. Look at T Fam, boy. Zip, that's his name. Yep, that's who the person allegedly is. Zip. So yeah, that dude kept the money. And nothing happened to him. Well, he ain't no longer with us, but I think it was from other causes. I don't think it was nothing to do with that or even shady stuff. But yeah, he ended up keeping the money and getting the club and doing whatever. And so that actually saved Puffy. Because if he would have, if this story is allegedly true, and he was if he would have gave the money like he was supposed to, and then Keefy D did do this, who's to say what he would be saying or not saying? Now he in trouble. He may be ready to flip and say this to save his own tail. Hell, who's to know if this what he may have said or not said to do this for what's going on now, allegedly? Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, that was interesting. Y'all coming with some info. Damian Kinney, Haitian Jack, an acquaintance that was a hanger on at industry events. Yeah, and Biggie knew him and told Pac stay away from Haitian Jack. And Pac had knew him as a hanger on that had looked out for him on a couple little things. So he was like, I got this and blah, 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 thinking he know everything and he cool or whatever. So he continued to hang with Dude, and that's what happened with Dude and the woman at the hotel and the alleged, incident with Pac taking some, punani and, a lot of other things. So, yeah, Haitian Jack. Lenora Wilson, according to Jaguar Wright, Mary J was not only helping them get girls, but was allegedly a victim of SA from a few guys in the industry. And I could easily see, not to see, like, again, I don't know any of these people, but I could easily see that happening to her early in her career because she was nobody yet. Right? She wasn't Mary J. Somebody try it now, they probably gonna get killed if they unless she was, they was super powered. But when she was first starting and she was with Andre Harrell on Uptown MCA Records and all of that before My Life or even around My Life, her very first album, she was vulnerable. She was vulnerable, and I look at it like she could have been taken advantage then, and even shortly, who knows how long after that period of time. And she did have her ups and downs in life, but that doesn't mean that you can be a part of crime. So I don't want to allege because you have ups and downs in life, you become, a part of certain things. But in this industry, same as the movie industry, which notoriously had a casting couch. Matt Lauer even had a button to lock you in the news industry. And then, some of this music industry, from Elvis to Jerry Lee Lewis to whoever you want to name, it's always been somebody in some genre of music that ain't been doing what they should be doing, especially when it comes to ladies. And it's always ladies that are vulnerable in these industries, and as well as guys. And when you are in an industry that is not like, hey, fill out this application. Okay, here, you work at UPS. It's up to somebody else, to say, hey, I think you got it, or hey, I don't think you right for this part, or hey, I like your music or song, or hey, I don't think you got it. Then sometimes people do extra things just so somebody can say, you know what, you do got it. And that can be very unfortunate and difficult to regulate and check, because what if a person tries to go and say, hey, they wanted to go out with me and I said no and I didn't get the part? They could say, that's not it. I was just going out and say, hey, you want to go out? I didn't give you the part because I think this other person is better, or they got a better look or a better fit. Then what could you say? Well, no, I think this and that. Well, you're not the director or you're not the producer or whatever. This is my thought. And then what you shut up. What can you do? You can't. So, it's not the same. And so with that, it's always a little bit of subjective things going on, unfortunately for people now, especially on both sides. It was really mostly one way. I mean, of course, it was a lot of things going on both ways, but it was mostly one way, as in men aggression towards women. And now it seems it's a lot more where it's man on man things, and as well as man on woman. So we still don't hear too much about a woman on a man as far as this type of aggression and things. Women aren't in a power position as often, but we have heard of it more than before, but it's still maybe because of the power dynamic, I'm guessing. Who knows? Uh get ready to wrap this up, y'all. Get up out of here. But before I do, get to a couple more comments. Anybody want to go live or have any comments, let me know. If not, I'm gonna wrap this on up. Dutch McVeigh, Mary J was on drugs and alcohol heavy around that time. Yeah, that's true. I forgot all about that. She did have a little book of sugar incident. And I remember when, now that you say that, around like what, 02, 03, 04, something around then, when she was claiming that she, is clean and doing all of this changing and stuff. I actually went to a Mary J concert around 03 in Chicago. And so I remember that, yeah, you're right. A lot. She has been through a lot, man. And hey, man, I'm not one to try to say or judge some of the things that some of these people may have done uh and when they were young trying to get in there. But then when they then perpetuate things or do things to others, or like Diddy, for example, they're now alleging that he used this started in around 2008, a lot of this type of behavior, and that he used the business and people that work for him and different things to make this happen, whether it's transportation or keeping people at places or whatever the case. You know, being isolated is one of the worst things can happen to a person. We done seen that time and time again when you have your own little universe. Like, for example, I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow, but the Netflix documentary, Mr. McMahon, mwah, beautiful. Very entertaining. I don't know how accurate it is because, of course, Mr. McMahon will probably say it's all a bunch of crap, even though he participated in it. But I thought it was a good documentary, and this is just the exact same story. He's just older and white, and it took a little longer, but it's the same thing. I don't know why he's not in jail or his house ain't raided. If you didn't see what he said, oh wow, the text message about the woman that he have and how he gonna have all the guys in the room fill up all the holes and do this and that and tie her up and this and that. Oh man, I don't see any difference. And I'm not saying because there's no difference is good. I'm just saying these people that have their own universe. He owned the WWE. That mean like he could fire people, hire people. It was something like one woman referee. He told her if she didn't do this or that, she ain't gonna get her $500,000 contract. And if you do this, and if you own the TV ratings and people this and that, and people don't want to lose this job in this city or work for you or control this, or then you can be a character and say, well, that's not real. That's a character. If you pulling down your pants, make people kiss your booty. This dude in the ring pulled his pants down and made somebody kiss his bare booty. Now, I ain't watched wrestling in a long time, but again, wrestling and rap grew up side by side. So I remember when they first put rap into wrestling. I ain't talking about no John Cena, just them trying to make the songs a little hipper and things like that. when they was with Cyndi Lauper and Captain Lou Albano and all them and different stuff. And so, Nikolai Volkov and Iron Sheik, Junkyard Dog. But we'd go outside and try to do those moves on each other as kids. But it did take a turn. I remember when it started to get too weird and cheesy. But I never knew a lot of these things about behind the scenes. That's one thing about this documentary. I've seen other documentaries and Andre the Giant documentary, different documentaries and things about wrestling beyond the mat and different things. But this was interesting from the perspective of Vince. And it's a lot of things I didn't know. I didn't know he owned the place for the longest. I didn't know he was the owner. I don't think I even knew that he owned it at all in my childhood. I don't think I was at least until my 20s or 30s before I knew Vince McMahon owned that stuff. Anyway, thing with this, with Diddy, get to a couple of these comments right quick. Ambi Bambi, you say, were there any underage victims? From what I have read, no. You say, I think they said for Diddy that some of the victims were underage when the assaults went down. I read earlier that couple people that's talking about it was from between 18 and I think 50 something. But it's the transporting them for paid sex work. That's part of the problem. You know what I mean? Jigga 1017. Vince going down too. The feds made Gurley hold off her civil suit so they can move forth with building a criminal case against him. Oh, damn. That's going to be messed up. Vince better go to get a house next to Russell Simmons. You know what, man? I probably would leave the country if I was Diddy or Vince instead of go to jail. I mean, yeah, that's messed up. You did these things allegedly, and then you run and flee. But I mean, who I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to go to jail after being where they been. I don't know how to think like these people. What the hell do I know? I wouldn't have been doing these things because I would be thinking I don't want to have to live on the run or I don't want to do this or that. But the people think they won't get caught in different stuff. So I get it, I guess, to a certain extent. Nobody does something thinking I'm gonna do this crime and get caught. Eric Iverson, what up, my brother? How you feeling? Good to see you back. You say Rikishi used to put that butt in dudes' faces all the time. He did, but he was a wrestler. If you're the owner or the boss, and then I make you do that, and you're the one that write those storylines. So that's what made this interesting, is that he wrote the storyline. So say you made me mad and I'm your boss. It might just be next week that I make the storyline that I put your face in my butt. That's the problem. And it does talk about how his dad started and how he kind of screwed his dad over a little bit. And then how different people he screwed over and different stuff he say. It was really interesting. But you know what else? He got screwed over a few times and he would give people another chance and work with them again. Different people sued him. He'd bring them back. But then again, who's to say why? He might have tried to, I don't know. But it made me kind of look at some things differently. Just because some things don't work out the way you want it the first time or work out the way you want it, period, doesn't mean that it's always over or that, hey, it still wasn't a positive. You can still learn from it, change, or if that chance come back again, who knows? Give it another chance. We'll see. Let's see. Lenora, you say I'm going to watch Mr. McMahon after this, and I had heard many years ago that he was forcing male wrestlers to sleep with him for the top sports. Now, they did address some of these allegations. It wasn't with him. There was guys that were close to him that worked with him and different executives that were really key to the business, and it was called the Ring Boys, the boys that would come and set up the ring before and after the match. This is something I never heard growing up. I never heard this. I heard it recently in I can't remember what documentary, whatever, recently, but I heard it as an older person. But that they had the guy, and it was a black dude too, and he was a notorious, you know what I'm saying, P Diddy. Yes, he did. Anyway, I ain't gonna give it away too much, but it was people that worked in the wrestling, you know, WWF and around, and allegations, and he kind of turned a blind eye until he couldn't no more. So, but yeah, it was really good. I end up saying I'm only watched 1 or 2 episodes. I watched all 5 or 6 back to back. You know, Eric Iverson, that Netflix Diddy doc by 50 Cent gonna be #1 for weeks. LOL. It's gonna be bigger and better than Power. I don't know about that, but it is gonna be #1 for weeks. They got, is that what they keep advertising on TMZ? Because they say the downfall of Diddy or something on TMZ, so I don't know. Dutch McVeigh, a lot of that footage about McMahon was pre-recorded in 21 before his current case. Yeah, they said as soon as the allegations came, he backed out. Like, why? Come back. They had you scheduled for more interviews. The allegations came, you back out. Oh, my lawyer said don't comment anymore. Mr. McMahon, don't comment anymore on any more allegations. Eric Iverson left Vegas, now in Colorado Springs. You got to visit. It's beautiful. Okay, definitely. Thank you for the super chat and the invite, my brother. Appreciate it. I just was in Texas, Austin, Texas. Just got back, 2 days ago. So, you know, that was a lot of fun and interesting experience, to say the least. Didn't work out how I would have planned, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll get around to it. Damian Kenny, man, either you just watched this documentary recently, well, it's only been out since Wednesday, or you got a damn good memory, or both. You're a fan of wrestling. Pat Patterson, that is the name of the guy that was allegedly notorious. Vince said he wasn't, but he was key to the business and booking things, and he became McMahon's right-hand man. He was that right-hand man, baby. You know what I mean? I'm Patty. Hey, let me pat that Patty. They said, old boy Tony Atlas said he used to come grab my pecker. They're like, what'd you say? He used to grab my pecker. He grabbed my pecker. I hate it. They say, well, what you gonna do? Who you tell? Oh, I'm gonna tell. Who tell who? Vince. They grabbed my pecker. I ain't gonna tell Vince. He needed him more than me. Vince needed him more than me. He gonna grab my pecker. That man grabbed that pecker. He say, you know what? They should call you Jake the Snake. Oh! You grab my pecker and call me Jake the Snake or the Junkyard Dog. Hey! Before I get out of here, another thing to check out is the Penguin. Oh, man. Colin Farrell, he need an Emmy. He need Academy Award. I mean, wow. The Penguin on HBO Max. Check it out. Grab that pecker. Say Pat Patterson was out of the closet since the 70s. Yeah, but people out of the closet don't necessarily be messing with the Ring Boys. You know what I'm saying? Lenora Wilson, the Ultimate Warrior. First wife allegedly divorced him because she caught him in bed with Vince. What? 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 That's the first time I ever heard that one. Again, I don't put anything past anybody I don't know, but I mean, wow. I never heard that allegation. And the reason I was a little shocked reading that, because I like when the Warrior kicked Hulk Hogan's ass. Warriors. We used to try to do that move as kids, pick each other up and like do the gorilla press, the slab you. What Warrior was in there with Vince? Oh no. Yeah, I hope that is just a funny, crazy little situation. A joke. Juan Marley, what's up, my brother? You say, yep, Rowdy Piper had an interview about him putting his peck on his shoulder, I believe. Hey, that is crazy. Eric Iverson, what's good? I appreciate the love, my brother. You say, fun fact, Bret Hart left WWF due to Vince making Shawn Michaels beat him for the title due to Shawn being the biggest star, so Bret went to WCW. They talk about that in the McMahon. They talk about that big time. They call it the Montreal screw job. They got a big section about that on the documentary. And then Bret Hart talks about how because of that, it's not exactly how you put it, but the reason they put in the documentary is because he couldn't afford to pay Bret Hart no more, and Bret Hart was going to WCW, and that's why Shawn Michaels was going to win. But Bret Hart didn't want to lose in Montreal to Shawn Michaels, and it was supposed to be a different situation. I don't want to go give it all away and turn this into Mr. McMahon, but Bret Hart did believe later that his brother died as revenge for him leaving WCW, and it took a lot for him to think otherwise. I'll let you watch that documentary and see. But it was really, really interesting. And I remember, I think that's around the time I stopped watching wrestling. I didn't care about no Bret Hart. And I think I was probably like 12 years old by then, or 10, 11, 12. I don't think I watched wrestling past that point. I might have known what was happening because I still played video games and I would always get like the wrestling game. And so I would see new people on the game for a while. But to a certain point, I think I stopped even playing a wrestling game when I was like 20. I think is the last wrestling game I ever played. So I don't know, even what happened after that. But anyway, I think he was mad about losing in front of his people. One Journey, what's up? How you doing? You say, how was your journey? It was really good and interesting. I got some video footage and different clips I'm gonna put together and put out there for everybody to see. And I'm gonna start putting together more of my comedy sets online for everybody to take a look and see. And hopefully, you share them and all of that good stuff. You gotta keep in mind it's different type of entertaining. It's entertainment. It's the stand-up comedy. So I say and maybe talk about different things other than TV shows. But hey, it is what it is. Let's see. Jigga, you hip to Vince taking a poop on old girl's head in the current civil suit. I mean, yeah, they said he went real. That's what I'm saying. That right there is deep. Vince, Puffy, they probably was best buds. R. Kelly, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis. Anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Eric Iverson, you say, hey, Jay, have you ever watched the wrestling show Heels on Stars? The wife on that show also played Felicia on Book Two Ghosts. Ah, okay. Nah, I watched a couple episodes of Heels, but the wrestling stuff, I think it wasn't that it was bad. I think it was something else that maybe came on or something. I think P Valley or something else. So I was probably giving more attention to that than Heels. But Heels are what they call the bad guys in wrestling for those who maybe ain't part of the initiated with Mr. McMahon. Anyway, let me get up out of here, y'all. Grizzly Bear, you got the final comment of the stream. And that is that Diddy stuff was hiding in plain sight the whole time. Shake my head. For real. That's why I'm not really so surprised. If you listen to every rapper damn near nowadays, all they talking about is getting somebody drunk or high and driving them or flying them out and what they gonna do. Now Diddy may have took it to another level with the poops upside your head. I got the poops upside your head. I think a poops upside your head. Let me hear you say poops upside your head. I think a poops upside your head. He didn't took it too far. He took it old school way back. Let me bring it old way back. I say a poops upside your head. But in the end, this controlling behavior, they love that. I'm sure Vince could have had wrestling groupies, but they don't want these things. Groupies that are willing. Or maybe it's boring after a while to certain people. But hey, I don't know. It's just these guys, it seems, from the Kellys to all of them, they all kind of say a little bit of what's going on, sometimes more than a little bit. Kales, they say I'm, about to, sprinkle you. But I'm about to sprinkle you with my goo. But anyway, it ain't called the Penguin movie. It's called The Penguin. And it's on HBO Max. It's a TV series. I think it's like 6 or 8 episodes. Only one episode's come out so far. It come out on Thursday or Friday, just like Power. It's called The Penguin. Episode 2 come out Thursday. Yeah. HBO Max. Or if you're looking on apps to get free stuff, type in Penguin or The Penguin. Anyway, I'm up out of here, y'all. Colin Farrell, amazing, 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 amazing work. For real. And the writing, come on, this is a cartoon TV show, and this is much more grounded in reality than any, well, I ain't gonna say than any, but than a lot of other shows we may watch. And I'll leave it at that. The makeup and everything, mwah, perfect. He looked messed up, but it's not like a cartoon. His foot, he had one messed up foot, walk with a limp. They show it. It makes more sense. What's going on? What happened? He even had a fight scene. Hey, that's a real fight scene. I love that fight scene. Anyway, episode 1, great. Lose his temper, you'll see. I had to do a review for Penguin. Let me get up out of here, y'all. Deuces.